Hi guys, this is In the Moment. I'm John Still here with Hunter Keaton and Tommy Still over there. This is our first episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you like it. Always hit that subscribe button if you enjoy what you see.
Hit it.
So we're gonna jump right into things with topics on a lot of people's mind, which is the NBA Finals or playoffs, especially the Western Conference Finals right now. Which is the Warriors are up 2-0. Game 3 is Portland tonight. But KD will not be traveling with the team, so he's out for at least Game 3 and 4. Mm-hmm. So my question to y'all is the series over for Portland?
Yes, because without KD, they're dominating in every way so far. Mm-hmm. And what Portland has normally going for them is their bench, and it's not really working out still with them outscoring Golden State. Just Golden State's backcourt is too much for Portland's backcourt, even though you could make an argument that that's number 1 and 2 backcourts in the league. It's just the difference between 1 and 2 is just too much, and Golden State, I think, is winning this in 4 games.
I'm looking at the stats, and Portland's 5-1 at home in the playoffs this year, and 3-5 on the road. So I don't think that it was just this wild time that they lost 2 games. What I did see was a lot of adapting in Game 2 that Portland did. They changed up their scheme a lot, and it did work well. It didn't result in a dub, but it did work well. They made it a lot closer of a game. Had a 17-point lead at one point in the third quarter, and they did well. I believe if that game is at home that they win. Their bench is just really keeping them in these games. Rodney Hood, Zach Collins. Zach Collins didn't have a big game too because he got a lot of fouls early. But you got Leonard stepping up, Seth Curry stepping up. You got a lot of role players that are playing well. Damian Lillard hasn't had the best series so far. I expect him to do better once they get back to Portland, and CJ McCollum will continue to be him.
If Draymond and Iguodala keep playing the way they're playing defensively, mainly, I think
Draymond's even got the offensive aspect of his game going right
now. They're like, so is Iguodala. He hasn't done bad, but they're good for what they're role is on that team right now. So they're doing really good as a team. And then Steph's going off without KD and Clay's doing his thing.
I mean, I see all that, but with KD out for what I believe to be the rest of this series,
because they don't need him?
No. I don't think they're rushing him back. I think Portland grabs at least 2 games here and forces it to Game 6. And I wouldn't be surprised if they forced it to Game 7, one of the next 3 at home.
Mm-hmm. All right, so a big one for me would be I saw Seth Curry. He had last game he had a game one of the great games in his career, which was 16 points, 5 for 9 field goals, 4 steals, all against his brother Steph, and a plus 13 while on the floor, which was better than anybody else in the game. Which 16 points isn't necessarily huge with big players like Steph and stuff, but he's coming off the bench getting 16 points, shooting over 50%. That's a really good game for him.
Definitely need him.
He doesn't need him to step up big. But a big thing also is I love the dad's jersey. The Curry's dad's jersey, we'll show right here, is on the front, Portland, and then on the back is the Steph Curry Warriors jersey, which I think is awesome. And the mom had the same thing but just flipped, which I think that was dope. On the dad, I'd definitely rock that crap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But
I just rock all Golden State, but
$300 million right there. Fucking Steph wants me to rock.
Yeah. So moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. On the other side, we have the Milwaukee Bucks up 2-0 on the Toronto Raptors after a 22-point victory in Game 2, where Giannis had 15 points, Giannis had 30 points, Mirotic had 15, and Kawhi had 31, but Kyle Lowry had 15 on 4 of 13 shooting.
That is just horrible.
Which is not too great for that.
Is just horrible.
So my question is, how do the Raptors turn around the series to go their way?
They don't. No, it's simple. It's just that simple because Milwaukee supporting cast that's around Giannis is better than Toronto's supporting cast that surrounds Kawhi. Mm-hmm. They're more consistent. They show up every game, unlike Toronto's, who Kyle Lowry could go out there and give you 30. I'm not going to lie. He could drop 30. Or he could not show up and give you 5 points.
It could be Game 1 Kyle Lowry or Game 2 Kyle Lowry.
He's not consistent at all. Pascal Siakam, he has done nothing this series. I mean, it's only 2 games, but Like, I thought he was going to be a big factor
He's gotta be a
into
big
how
factor.
they were going to... Because I thought it was going to go to, like, Game 7, but it's not looking like that so far. But on Giannis' supporting cast, Chris Middleton has done an amazing job. And then, like, Brook Lopez showed out in Game 1 when they needed him.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just everybody around there. And their bench is just good. They play as a good team together. And I think it's just too much for Toronto to overcome. So I say, like, Game 5.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an easy fix for Toronto. If you look at what they've given up in these 2 games, it's been 125 points. I believe it was 108 points in the first game. And they averaged in their series versus Philly, giving up 98 points to an electrifying. I mean, they got a good offense there in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I know that Milwaukee's going to be a little harder to shut down. But if they can crack down on that end of the court, I think they can really turn things around. And I don't think it's as hard as other people might think. Here's how you guard Giannis.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the leading candidates for MVP.
Greek Freak is the MVP right now.
The Greek Freak is something special.
7-foot fireball of speed and power and long limbs.
The ranginess to throw it down.
How many guys can do what Giannis can do on a consistent basis?
My name is Tommy Still, and this is how you guard Giannis Antetokounmpo. So how the Raptors are going to beat the Bucks, all right? It's going to come on the defensive end. It's going to take a lot to shut down Giannis and the Bucks, but to shut down Giannis and the Bucks, it's going to take a team effort, all right? This means whenever Siakam or Leonard is shadowing Giannis, the whole team's going to have to come up and play some help defense. You're going to have big guys like Gasol, Ibaka, Collins coming off the bench. They got to meet him at the rim once he gets past them, all right? So this is, we got Giannis covered by Leonard in this scenario, and I'm going to be Serge Ibaka. Now, it's not only the big men that can get on this. The help defense is going to have to come from the guards as well, such as Kyle Lowry in this scenario. All right, so I'm going to be Kyle Lowry. We got Leonard on Antetokounmpo, and they got to play some help defense too. How about the big men? All right. If the guards can come up with big steals and the bigs can come up with big blocks, and lock down the paint, lock down Giannis, this is how the Raptors are going to be able to take the series, and this is how the Raptors are going to be able to advance to the NBA Finals, all right? That's my pick in 6 games, Raptors.
Raptors in 6? You stupid?
You heard it here first. Raptors in 6.
6 games.
They're down to 0-2, but Raptors in 6,
They got
baby.
it. Adaptability,
Raptors in
Kawhi,
6.
Kyle Lowry,
in
they got it.
Oh, you can't talk.
Bucks in
They
4.
got the
Bucks in 4. Okay. But yeah, so something else that happened recently was the draft lottery. So
yeah.
So the NBA, of course, the top 5 are it was New Orleans, Memphis, New York, and LA, and tits. Cavs. I wrote down Cavs and
Yeah.
I freaked it.
You really have
I know. Shut up. Okay.
Right
I saw
there.
Cavs. Okay, Cleveland.
Alright, so
Okay.
We have to restart every
So I have to fake laugh again.
That was a really good.
I know. Okay, I know it was a good take. Okay. Okay, go.
You picked the Raptors? You suck!
You heard it here first. Raptors in 6 from
They
my boy.
got it done.
Raptors in 6.
They
I
got
think
what
defense.
done?
They got-
Defense,
they-
they will adapt. They will shut down.
Bucks in
Giannis and the
4.
Bucks.
0-2?
0-2.
They're down 0-2.
They're down 0-2.
Okay,
but Raptors
so they have to
in
win the
6.
next one.
They
Plus
lost by
2,
22
6.
in game 2.
6.
Raptors in 6.
Game
Yes,
6.
yes.
They're
Of
taking it
course.
home on their home court.
Yep. Smoking. They're smoking some. But okay, so let's get into the NBA draft. First, the order is New Orleans, Memphis, New York, Los Angeles, and Cleveland at 5. That's top 5 pick with Zion, known as the unanimous #1 overall pick, going to the Pelicans.
I think
Hasn't
Ja
happened
Morant's gonna
yet,
be
but
good.
it's So we're gonna go into Tommy. What exactly is this new draft system that they implemented this year?
So this year, to try and stop tanking, they gave the worst overall record a 14.5% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, which was the
And-
Knicks. It was the Knicks,
it was the Knicks, Cavs, and
Suns.
Suns. And in previous years, there's 25% chance for the worst overall. In this case, the Knicks would have added a 25% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were trying to deter that. And I mean, I don't know if it deterred tanking, but this is the first draft where a team has moved up 6 spots. And there's actually 3 teams to do that in this draft: Memphis, New Orleans, and LA.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah, because LA moved up big. They had
LA moved up very,
They had
very
a 2% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick.
and they ended up with the number 4 overall pick,
Yeah,
which is absolutely
which is huge.
huge. I think it was Kuz
Stupid.
jacket that.
But do y'all think this is the end of tanking for teams?
I think it is, but I think they'll reevaluate like how they do it. Because honestly, I think it's kind of stupid. But I think they'll stop tanking because like I don't think they'll tank on purpose anymore. Because like the Knicks will continue to suck because they don't get a pick. Like picks matter in the NBA,
Yeah,
and when you don't get
Way more than
yeah.
sport.
when you don't get the good top 3 or top 4 players or something like that, like that really affects like how your season could end up turning out. Because I don't
Oh, yeah.
flip any team. Like
Yeah.
at least I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Into
Well, I don't think it's the end of tanking for the really, really bad teams. I honestly think like the Mavs this year did a little bit of tanking.
Oh, they definitely did.
And I think teams like that, who are honestly kind of on the bubble in like certain situations, will compete more for playoffs just because there's that possibility you can be like New Orleans or LA and move up huge numbers and get a top 5 pick somehow.
Yeah.
But
you're always in it.
yeah,
So, you
so
might
like
as
I
well
I honestly think there'll be more competition for that. But I think the lottery should be moved down. I don't think a team that barely missed the playoffs should be in the lottery and have a chance to get number 1 overall pick. I think that I think that at some point lottery should cut off and be like, yo, this is record before the playoffs, like before the playoff teams cut.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is the end of tanking at all. I mean, whenever you have a generational talent like Zion Williamson coming out of college,
Yeah, he did a
you're
lot.
going to have the worst teams in the league, and even some teams that aren't that bad that are going to play their cards right in order to get the chance to get Zion.
But everybody
I
has
mean-
a chance now.
I mean,
so-
everyone has a chance. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, like any team's gonna want their chance to be the most that they can. I mean, even though the Knicks and the Knicks, Cavs, and Suns, none of them even got the
It's disappointing.
the top 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they still have the best chance, and I think that you're gonna see a lot of teams moving forward that are gonna take that same chance. I don't think it's gonna do much for tanking at all.
I just don't see them tanking because like I don't see a point. Like because I feel like Knicks are the worst team in the NBA, so just naturally they will get the
I
worst
mean,
record. Like
yeah.
even if them trying, like you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying. Like so
I mean,
I,
they had Enes Kanter though, so they could have won. They probably would've been in the playoffs still, you know. If they
Yeah.
had got rid of him. I mean,
and then still got the first
yeah,
pick.
yeah, my God.
All right, so but big name on this this offseason and possibly next offseason is Anthony Davis in
Ooh, AD.
New Orleans, who just got the number 1 overall pick, which is probably going to be Zion. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
So this obviously affects him. What do you think this does to where he could be next year, possibly?
Well, I think this is really gonna try. New Orleans is gonna try harder to keep him now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they put everything in, but they're gonna try harder to keep him because they got Zion to use as leverage now. So I mean, who wouldn't want to play with a young Zion who was probably the best coming out? And I think AD might reevaluate where he wanted to go off season and think, okay, New Orleans might be because I think he was wanting to win,
Yeah,
and New
yeah.
Orleans just wasn't good enough to win. And I think that player that they got right there can change the franchise.
Yeah, he can.
But on the other hand, I think the Knicks can put a good package together
Yeah.
and give them a whole bunch of assets, and they got that 3rd pick.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be R.J. Barrett, and who wouldn't want to see a Zion and R.J. Barrett reunion? Yeah,
Yeah,
that could cause some tears. Yeah.
Real
And,
nice.
and AD
That-
is signed. AD is signed through this year, and a lot of people came out and said that if the Knicks don't go out and get KD and Kyrie with the supermax deals, that they will go after Anthony Davis with that supermax slot. So why not go after him now and get that trade for him a year early? That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
I mean, I see a lot of opportunity with the Celtics. I don't think Anthony Davis is going to stay in New Orleans. I don't think it's all purely about winning. I don't
Outside
think he
of
likes.
basketball reasons.
I don't think he likes the organization as a whole. I think that there's some sort of issues there. They are trying to change it for him, but I just don't see him staying there. And I think the Celtics can put a really good package together with a lot of young talent there. I mean, you may have to give up like a Jason Tatum, or maybe even a Jaylen Brown as well. But I mean, whenever you're talking about Anthony Davis, that's a very
do you
big player.
think Kyrie will reevaluate? Because he's came out and said he kind of wants to move on, or he
Yeah.
might talk with the Lakers. That's what
I highly doubt that Kyrie stays in Boston.
Yeah,
But if they do get Anthony Davis and they do acquire him before this, I think that they have a better chance of signing him, a much better chance
I think
of
that's
signing
true.
him. Because I think he wants to play with the superstar. I think he found out that it's hard to be a superstar in this league, especially by
he
yourself
misses
on a team.
LeBron.
He misses LeBron, and I think Anthony Davis is a young guy that he's like, hey, let's build a dynasty here in Boston,
And New Orleans could get a lot of.
Yeah, they get a lot of young talent. Now I don't know what their general manager's looking at, if it's picks, young talent, what they're looking at, but they have the young talent. They don't necessarily have the picks, but they have the young talent there in Boston.
Yeah, they do. But one place I think could be a legitimate possibility is the Lakers, obviously.
Yeah,
And
I see that.
but the GM has came out and said how adamant he is about not trading AD
Don't
to
understand that at all.
the Lakers, which I don't understand why you would ever come out. Even if you don't want to trade them, your best shot at getting a best package for AD is to have like a bidding war type of thing going on. And I don't know why you would come out, because the Lakers, like, honestly, even if you weren't looking at trading them last year, the package they put together, I would have said, bye AD. I'll see you later. Like, I'll take this new young core and bring it here. Like, that.
I mean, I would have done that. It's just that young core, as you could see. I do think.
But and they got a draft pick, too.
Yeah, some individually, they were good players. They just never played.
Yeah,
good.
I think the
but,
deal
like,
is a lot better now that they got the 4th overall pick.
Yeah.
Because the Lakers were not supposed to be in
Yeah.
even the top 10.
I think
the
the
fourth
trade
overall.
package
No,
that the
that'll change
Lakers,
that.
I think the trade package the Lakers could put together potentially for Anthony Davis cannot be looked over. I don't think that you can, as an organization, be like, yo, this team has a potentially really good young core that we could take from, and also a number 4 overall pick.
You got to look at young core because
Yeah.
they got Zion.
Yeah, you got Zion.
You're building for the future.
And
You can win now as well, but I mean, I don't see.
Like
I
in
think that
5
young
years,
core-
like this
that,
team. Could,
yeah, that young core is right. It's right on the verge of.
If you get Kuzma and Zion there in New Orleans, that'd
That
be
could
some
be-
nice stuff.
and you get that 4th pick.
Yeah, you get that
Yeah, you get that 4th
pick.
pick. Yeah,
And you could always trade the 4th pick, move up to 3rd
Yeah.
if they're willing to. You can still get that RJ Barrett.
Yeah. And the projected 4th overall pick is Jarrett Culver from Texas Tech, the guard, who is still a great player. Not a lot of people talk about
Yeah.
past the 3rd because it's obviously it's Zion, John Morant, and RJ
So
Barrett.
top 3 in.
Yeah, it's the top 3 of the rest of the field.
No,
but
He's a great defender.
yeah, you're still getting like you're gonna have a whole freaking defensive NBA team right there.
Yeah.
But yes, like I don't think the Lakers is like necessarily like a place you can look over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why do y'all think Zion's the unanimous number 1 overall pick?
Dude, these are once in a generation.
Why do you not think
Yeah.
Zion?
No. Like, is there anything that goes in behind that, or?
No.
Dude.
Zion's number 1. Zion is number 1. I don't know how to say it any way
It's
different.
just Zion number 1.
Okay, John Morant, RJ Barrett, they can switch. Like, I can see
Yeah, I
how
see that.
arguments can go John Morant to RJ Barrett to. But Zion's number 1. And
Yeah.
I saw this thing where they put, who do you think will be the 2nd pick? They didn't even care about the 1st pick.
No, I know.
Because they know who it's going to be.
I know. I was just wondering why y'all thought, like was it his size, his athleticism?
No, it's because he's Zion Williams.
Yeah.
Zion
Well,
Williamson.
we got one more segment coming for you guys, and it is 5 reasons why. We got 5 reasons why Zion Williamson will be MVP his rookie season. That's coming up right now. All right, we got the 5 reasons why Zion Williamson will win MVP his first season in the NBA. We got reason number 5 right here. He is 6'7", 285 pounds. Put that in perspective, he would weigh the second most in the NBA behind one Boban Bogdanovic, who is 7'3" and weighs 291 pounds.
Number 4, defense. He was the number 1 defensive rating in the ACC. And Zion had 59 blocks and 70 steals. First NCAA freshman to have 50-plus in both of those categories.
Oof.
And he was the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year. This man's a freak at defense.
Yeah, he is. Adaptability. He has adapted to everything from high school to college play at Duke underneath Coach K, especially shooting from the 3 line. In high school, he shot 20% from behind the arc, and in college, he went up to 34% from behind the arc. So huge adaptability.
Number 2, athleticism. Let me tell you, this dude is quick. This dude is fast. He is athletic. He has a 40-inch vertical. Something special.
And number 1, we got Zion Williamson. He is a generational talent. I've never seen anything like him. We've never seen anything like him, and I don't think we'll ever see anything like him again. That right there are the 5 reasons why he will win the MVP his first season in the NBA.
Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. See ya. Link in the description. Subscribe. Out.